Welcome back to Auto Boss, guys. Today we're talking about customer care and being in a customer's car. And there's a few things that a few mechanics are doing. I know it because I'm seeing it all the time that you really shouldn't be doing. The first thing you got to remember, when you're in a customer's car, you are in their personal space. They normally only have friends and family in their vehicle with them, and you're a stranger getting into their space. Even though they're not in it while you're in it, you've got to treat it as if you are in their house. Some of the things that you see so many workshops doing wrong is adjusting stereos, changing steering wheel positions, changing seats. We're gonna go through a whole list of the bits and pieces that, if you do this right, the customer will know that you actually care about them. When they get back in their car, there'll be no complaints. Let's start with the very first thing that just really gets under my skin. Changing the customer seat position. Now, I know it has to happen. If you've got a mechanic working in your workshop, or if it's you and you're 6'5" or 7 foot tall, there's no avoiding it. You have to change the position. But make sure when you're finished with that vehicle, the seat goes back to where it was when it started. And if you're not really sure and it doesn't have preset buttons like my car's got the 1, 2, and 3, get a bit of masking tape or something you can put on the scuff panel to align with the front of the seat. So when you move it back, when you move it back to the position it should be in, it's back where it started with. Because you don't want the customer to feel like their space has been invaded. I know what it's like because my wife is a lot shorter than me. She's a tiny little thing. The only thing shorter than her is her temper. But when she drives my car, we've got the buttons, as I said before, we've got the buttons. 1, is my setting and 2 is her setting. And in her car, it's the opposite. 1 is hers and 2 is mine. But she'll get in my car and drive it, and then she'll forget to put the seat back in. And she's so short. When I'm in the garage trying to get into the car, I need the dash, and it drives me mental. It's just one of those reminders that makes me think when I'm in workshops and when I'm talking with people, it's a great reminder. Every time it happens to me, I'm thinking, okay, make sure I remind people not to do this. That's the first thing, is making sure the seat was back where it started. Second thing we'll talk about is the stereo, and this is kind of a weird one. You would think that this doesn't need explanation, but this is something I had to learn the hard way when I was a young apprentice. I was the first year, I was probably only in the trade 3 or 4 weeks, and we got into a customer's car. A mechanic was driving, I was in the passenger seat. And the first thing I did, we got in, he started the car up, he's writing down the mileage, and I leant over and changed the stereo channel. I changed the radio channel, and he stared at me, this death stare. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Changing the radio," because I didn't want to listen to whatever was on the radio. He said, "It's not your radio, don't touch it." And I was like, "Oh." And he goes, "Mate, we're here to road test and listen for things. The only thing we're going to do is turn it down, and when we're finished, we're going to turn it back up again." And I thought, oh, that's okay, fair enough. So I always took that with me. I did that right through my apprenticeship when I was a mechanic and when I had my own shops. One of the things I was very anal about was, don't turn the stereo off, because I've done it in the past where I've turned the stereo off and I couldn't figure out how to turn it back on again. I know that doesn't say much for my intelligence, but I got to a point where I'd say to the guys in the workshop, in my shop, and I recommend this to so many others now, turn the radio down. Don't change channel, don't change anything. Just turn the radio down, but take note of sort of what volume it was at, and before you leave, turn it back up again. And you kind of go, well, why would that matter? Funny part about that is, the easiest way to explain it is by saying that in my career, if I did the maths, I would have handed over tens of thousands of cars, at least 10,000 cars. Interactions with customers when I'm delivering vehicles back to them or giving them the invoice, like customer interactions. When a customer's had their vehicle in for service or repairs, they've been driving it for so long that they're used to whatever noises are in the car, and they're tuned out to them. They're aware that they've just spent a bunch of money to have something fixed on their car. They'll get in, and for the last year that they've been driving it, they haven't been paying attention, but I can guarantee they're paying attention when they drive off. And if they're used to having a stereo set, at a certain level, and they get in a silent vehicle, they'll hear sounds they've never heard before. Even if it's just road noise or a squeak, like a door rubber squeaking or something like that. They might hear something, and then they'll come back to you. And don't say it doesn't happen, because it happened to me. I remember customers, we had several times, a customer would come back in, my car, there was one, like we hadn't changed tyres or anything. He said, "The road noise from my car is a lot louder since you worked on it." And I think we did a service or something minor. I was like, road noise. And I said, okay, well, not really sure. Let's take it for a drive. Let's find out why. It was just the road noise from the tyres, but it's because he was tuned in. He'd just spent money getting a repair done or a service done. He was tuned in and he was listening to his car for the first time ever. Because his stereo was turned down, it makes all the sounds even louder. So that's why I say make sure the stereo goes back to roughly where it was, and definitely don't change the radio station. And most people now are plugging in iPods or phones or Bluetoothing their music, whatever. Just make sure that however it came in, make sure it goes back the same way. That's the second thing. So seats, the first thing, the most important. Second thing is the stereo. Third thing, greasy handprints. This is just something that drives me mental. I only experienced it just this week. I had a mate came over, we were ginning around in the shed, and he's just bought himself a brand new Chef truck. Now, in Australia, they're $150,000. They're a fair chunk of change. They're not a cheap vehicle. It's done less than 2,000 kilometres, which is about, 1,300 miles. And it developed an oil leak. He took it back in, and they repaired the oil leak. Took a couple of days to get the part there. When he picked it up, there was an arm print, a greasy arm print on the centre rest, the centre console rest, and greasy handprints on the steering wheel. Grey leather. He was absolutely livid. And he's really particular about his vehicles. He keeps his vehicles perfect. And I thought to myself, this is a dealership. That is just not acceptable. No one's doing any checks. No one's doing any quality checks. Someone really needs an uppercut in that workshop to be allowing that kind of quality to go out. But I know what it's like when you're in a rush and you're trying to get a car done, and you might just lean through because you need to start the vehicle. You might just lean through the window, which is a safety no-no, and start the car, but you might end up with a greasy knuckle on the dash or something like that. Just pay attention to it. No greasy handprints. That's one of the things that really annoys me. Second thing, oh no, we're gone past the second. The fourth thing is adjust the handbrake. Now, if they've got electric handbrake, this is very different. But people will come in to get a service. Say you've just done a timing belt or 120,000 or 150,000 K service. Miles are different. You might do a 60,000 mile service. You're doing a timing belt, something like that. They're going to spend a massive amount of money and get the car back in really no different shape. You've just guaranteed that the longevity of the vehicle's there, but they're not going to feel any different. But the only thing that they can experience, and when they're in the driver's seat, the only thing they can see is the service sticker, how well it's written out and how neat it is, and definitely clean the old one out of the way. We'll get to that in a second. And adjust the handbrake. So when they actually pull the handbrake, they can feel slight difference. They go, oh yes, something's changed in the vehicle. Apart from that, they have no idea. Unless they pop the bonnet, started taking covers off, they can't see what you've done on the vehicle. Make the things that they can touch and feel, make sure that they are, one, done properly, and two, are slightly different. Adjust the handbrake so they can feel it. Now, the service stickers. Make sure that your service reminder stickers are neat, are branded, and when you remove the old one, make sure you clean the old glue off, and it's placed and it's square. I have seen so many shoddy stickers. The worst I've seen is a workshop that it came into our store, and remember, it was about 3 stickers deep. They were just putting stickers on top of stickers, and not matching stickers. It was from 3 different workshops, and they'd just been chucking stickers on top of stickers. I couldn't believe it. How unprofessional. This is your only chance for the customer to actually see and feel things. Next issue, going back to you're in their space, one of the issues that we all have to face is looking for wheel lock nuts. It's a great benefit when a customer brings a car in and they actually say, I've got the lock nut out, it's sitting in the center console. It's one of the nicest things that someone can do for us as mechanics. But if it's not sitting there for you, and you look in the boot and it's not in with the tyre or anything like that, and you're going to have to go looking through the car, make sure you write it on the job card, or make sure you tell the service advisor that you had to go looking for it. That way they can tell the customer that the mechanic that worked on the vehicle was unable to locate the wheel lock nut where it was supposed to be, so they actually had to look through your vehicle to find it. That way, if they get in and they had a few bits and pieces in door cards or in the center console, if stuff's been rifled with and they notice it, at least they've been told. It will make them go, oh, that makes sense, because they had to go looking for it. If you don't say anything, the customer's going to think someone just got in their car and just rifled through there, just flicked through their stuff for no reason, just out of nosiness. You want to avoid that. We're always trying to build customers for life. And you don't want to ever feel like a customer, or you don't ever want the customer to feel like we're taking advantage of them or we're invading their space. These are just a few of the things that I've noticed through my career, I've seen in other shops, and I've definitely seen, I've experienced it myself. I had tyres fitted recently. I can't do tyres. I do all the other work on my own cars, but I can't fit tyres. I have no interest in fitting tyres because they're low profiles. I've got 35s on the rear on mine. I had tyres fitted and I got back in and that had changed like the stereo settings. I don't know why. And the like control, it's like central control. It was set in vehicle settings and there was no reason for it to be in that at all. So it's just one of those things that I see happening and it should be avoided. Anyway, this is just another short video. We're going to go on with a lot more in this series. We're going to push on with a lot of these little things that most mechanics should know but probably have forgotten, and some of the junior guys probably don't know. So I hope you got something from it. Now, I just need to ask one favour. I make these videos because I love this trade. Without mechanics, the world stops rolling. Like truck mechanics, car mechanics, boat mechanics, plane mechanics, the world stops moving. Everything we need, everything we use, somehow comes with something with an engine in it. Mechanics need to get the respect that they deserve. And that's why I want to share this information, hopefully change the trade. I know it's a big ask, but the first thing I can ask you to do, the only way you can help me, is by giving me a thumb on this video, because you've got two and I've got one. It's only fair, isn't it? Until next time, this is Autoboss. I've got to get back to work. Hope your workshop's overflowing and you're making a fortune. I'll see you next time.